Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's episode, spring break time, and I got me a present.
Welcome to Bonsai Acres.
What is in the little box, do you ask? The little box comes from Rack, from Budget Bonsai. And you've probably already seen what's going on with Rack with Budget Bonsai, so you probably know what's in the box. But we have to open it to make sure that you all can see what I got from Rack, from Budget Bonsai. Here we go, Rack Cross Studio, Life is Art. Hey, thank you for participating in the Budget Bonsai Tripod Challenge. Please forward a video of how you use this really cool tripod to rackcross@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with Rack. And please feature the tripod in one of your outstanding videos. Enjoy, Rack. You're too kind, Rack. Outstanding videos. There we go, packaged pretty well. And as always with Rack, he is passing along the stickers. All right, I got a couple of those already on some of my things. Here it is. That's his tripod. Okay, Rack, here we go. It's the unraveling of the tripod a la Dave. Here we go. We'll put that back over here. In here is the pot, everybody, with Rack's little logo down there. Little R for Rack. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love this rich tone on this one. This kind of really dark, muddy brown color. Oh, that's really cool. And it makes the feet on the tripod pop just a little bit there, right? Very lovely. Now the challenge for me is I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the size of the pot and if I'm gonna be able to keep this thing alive. It's got a great drainage hole down there. I don't want to plug it with one rock so it doesn't drain, but there's another skinnier hole right there. What should I put in this thing? What should I put in this thing? Let's see what I got. Yeah, a little too big. Way too big, the dinosaur tree. How about the 40-year-old ficus tree? Ficus triangularis. Oh, but wait, I have cuttings of the ficus triangularis. Okay, that's a possibility. All right, ficus triangularis. The big money tree? Yeah, no. Even my little jade is still way too big. If it was a little bit bigger of a pot, that Chef-Flare would look pretty darn cute in that pot rack. Now, if it's one thing that I have a ton of, it's PA cuttings. However, these are off limits because they're my students. Yeah, I'm keeping them watered over spring break. Now, I'll be showing these in a new video coming up very, very soon with my short visit with Tom from Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. These are some Jerusalem cherry seeds. Look at them all. I could put one of those in there and see if it survives. Ooh, how about the brush cherry trees? Okay, we have 5. Maybe that will work. Only one of them. And speaking of Tom, look at that, Tom. It keeps sending out new flowers. Isn't this fantastic? Let's pick it up for everybody to see. Look at the flowers, everybody. This is my something geranium from Tom. Got some bends and curves in there. And this thing keeps wanting to put out flowers. Fun. Look at that color, everybody. Pretty, but too big for the tripod. What was I saying about portulacarias? Yeah, that one's a small one, but it's about 4 times bigger than the pot I have to get it into. So I am very torn on what to put in the tripod. I think the problem with the variegated triangularis ficus tree is that the leaves are so big. And so in a big pot, a small pot with these big leaves, now this is a really tiny tree right here. Look at that tree. And look at the skinny root, skinny trunk. That would totally fit in here, depending upon how the root structure is. I think that would be fantastic. But the leaves are so big. But it's such a cool, pretty tree. Got the variegation, so lovely. I don't know, I'm torn. This is where having 2 pinch pots would be better than 1. And then we have the brush cherries. Now these aren't growing fast, but they're starting to get real small, but yet big taper. Did that make any sense whatsoever? Well, look at these trees. Let me pull in close right here for you. Look at some of the nebaris on these trees. Right here, there's a little bit of a sway right there. There's a little bit bigger bottom there. Look at this right here. That's a twin trunk going there, but that's a little wider. And look at that one. Now that could be a really fun tree in this pot. Will it fit though? Oh, I think it's going to just fine. Let's pull this one out. I think this one could work. Let's dig it out and see what kind of root system it has. Okay. I have this grove of brush cherries, a cutting from, if you want to see the parent tree of this brush cherry, it's kind of a sad story. The parent of this tree was one of my first and only brush cherries at the time, and I took a couple cuttings from that tree, but that tree, about a year after I started using it for my logo, my main tree on my website, bonsaiacres.com, go check out bonsaiacres.com. That tree is a brush cherry, and it's kind of got this curves and bends, and it's on a rock, and I just loved that tree. It wasn't growing very fast, and all of a sudden one day it died. I mean, or what, well, trees don't die in a day, do they, Dave? But it just went downhill and I lost that tree. And I was pretty bummed. I was liking that tree, and I've seen some really big brush cherries at our Como Conservatory, the Como Zoo, where we have a great bonsai collection. Oh, look at all those roots. All those roots are not going to fit in the tripod, but we'll have to do some work on those, huh? Let's put this back on the bench. And this one. So here we go. We have a tree and we have a pot. We have the tripod from Rack. Thank you so much to Rack for making me a part of this challenge. And here's the thing. He and I are going to bring this challenge to a YouTube Expo near you. That's right. The YouTube Expo is happening on July the 26th of this year. It's a Saturday, somewhere around 9 in the morning until about 3 in the afternoon, my time in central Minnesota. Well, the Twin Cities metropolitan area actually, but you know, we're kind of centrally located. And we're going to have a fun time on the Expo. Now, if you want to learn more about the Expo, hang tight. I'm going to give some information on the Expo. But part of that Expo is we're going to be getting maybe some updates and some preliminary results of the tripod challenge that we've been sending around the country a little bit. So I've got this little tiny brush cherry tree which grows really small leaves and can be very, very nice for this pot. We got some cutting back to do though, huh? I think the nebari on this thing is even better than I expected, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that off right there. That root plane is too high for this tree if we want to get this in this pot. A thick root right there that has to go in order for us to fit this. And of course the challenge is this pot is so small, this root won't have a lot of expansion possibilities in a small pot. But we can keep it nice and short. Oh, there's the big root right there. We have to cut that. It's kind of like the taproot on this guy. There we go. Yeah, we'll cut this one back, I think, a little bit more. We're going to use this concave cutter on that part right there. There we go. And that'll shoot out some more roots as well. We got a pretty nice radial root pattern here. And if I keep this nice and protected down here in my plant room, this is going to be just fine. So there we go. We have all the old soil cycled out of there. We've got the new tree. Look at how fine that little root system is. Whew. Let's see if it fits. Oh yeah, that's going to fit in there real nice. The question is, how is it going to stay in there? I can't put a wire in there and tie it down, can I? That'd be very tough. Okay, here we go. So I don't think I'm going to be able to cut a screen that tiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few of my bigger bits of soil in there. There we go. All right. All I needed was a couple, and actually I think I put a couple too many. Now, I have a client coming over who's buying some bonsai soil for me this year. I ordered a big old batch for the Minnesota Bonsai Society Club members, getting them a good discount and everything, and this guy is one of those members who's going to buy some soil. He's coming over to pick it up today, and he's also going to pick up what I have a lot of, and that is the, well, it's almost labeled sometimes like on Jonas Dupuis' website, it's labeled as Shohin soil. So it's the super, super fines, the super small. So let's take a peek at this. There's the soil. It's not going to stop the water from flowing, but it's going to stop the super smalls from getting out. This gentleman's going to come on by and pick up some soil today, and he's picking up the super fines. So let me show this on the camera too. These are the really small ones. Look at that. Yeah, that is super small soil. So we're going to get some of that in there. Here we go. All right, there we go. I only need about a tablespoon of soil. Okay, here comes the soil. I'm not going to rinse this off. I'm just going to leave that in there. Okay, tuck that soil down a little bit, or the roots rather. Okay, now I'm going to have to hold that in there and hope that this holds it in there too. Here we go. So I'm going to have to use the little tip of my really big needle point or macrame, I don't know what it's called. And then I recently got this spray bottle cap from Rack. Rack, this is from you, which makes it beautiful for something this small and tender. Look at that, watering. Soaks right in there. Let's see if it's draining, everybody. Well, it's draining. That is super fun. Now, after putting it in there, that's a pretty robust nabari, everybody. Look at that nabari. It's actually quite fun, and it's got some movement, and that's just really super cool. So we have a tree that, you know, if it gets any thicker than that, it's just going to fit, it's going to be as wide as the pot. But it's holding up nice and straight. I like that a lot. Now we have to figure out if we're going to do any prunes today. We've got some new branches trying to grow on here. So we can maybe just clean up a couple of nubs possibly. Got to be careful. I'm going to hold the tree so I don't rip it right out of the pot that I just chucked it in so gently. I should have my smaller concave because I've got a really small tree. Okay. Cleaned up that. Let's go ahead and shorten it here. Whoop, let's go to an outside. Let's go to an outside branch there. Let's just cut this back another 1/2 inch. There we go. And this one's getting a little thick out here. So let's go ahead and cut that one down to size about, oh, that's a tricky one. There we go. Cut that off right there. Now, let's see. Oh, I didn't even consider the front of my tree. What a no-no, Dave. Okay, this is a goner of a branch. But it's kind of a tripod, which also, you know, means 3, which is going to be more, got the round top. And we can have the front anywhere on this tree. So I got lucky and I didn't have to think about it so much. So this is going to develop new leaves. So let's go ahead and cut this one down to here. This one's still a little bit chunky, so let's cut down to there. And this one is still a bit chunky, so let's go down to this outside branch right there. And there we have the Tripot Challenge tree from Dave's Bonsai. And I think that might be the front right there. Right there. There we go, everybody. The Tripot tree. Now, there's no branches till way up here. We got a pretty nice nabari here, but if this just continues to puff out into a fun tree, it's kind of cool. I'm okay with that. I would love it if it was down here, though. So if more branches start to come down here, we can cut this thing back, let some back buds come down here, and we can have this really beautiful tree. Now, the challenge for this tree. Yeah, I better water this thing very regularly. Now, with the really tiny superfines, that's really small soil. So I have gallons of this stuff that I just don't use. I put it in my muck formula, by the way. So there we go. There is the pinch pot. I always call it a pinch pot because you know why? The legs are pinched together. It's a tripod. Sorry, Rack. All right, that was super fun. If we can shorten this tree, cut it in half in height, it's going to be gorgeous in this pot. So we'll see with my cuttings today, we'll back bud anything down here. And if it starts to back bud, we'll cut it back some more. And then we'll just let it recover in the plant room here. We'll get it out into the PSGF pretty soon and we'll be good. Thank you, Rack. Thanks for this fun challenge. Thanks for the pot. Now, Rack has made a ton of these, everybody, and you could be the proud owner of one. So Where can you find out more about that? You're going to find more about it at RAC, at Budget Bonsai. So go check out Budget Bonsai, a link in the description. And then also, we're going to have it at the Expo. And he and I are going to look at some of the progress of some of these trees and throw out the challenge to people out in Bonsai Expo live stream thing event coming up in July. It's the live stream Bonsai Expo. Saturday, July the 26th here in 2025. And our keynote presenter, the one, the only Nigel Saunders of the Bonsai Zone. Now, he'll be live with us. He might be a part of a panel discussion. So Nigel's going to spend a few hours with us, I think. And then haven't figured out the specifics yet, but our professional guest is Jonas Dupuis of Bonsai Tonight and the Pacific Bonsai Expo. So can't wait to talk to Jonas about bonsai and see what he has to say. Our North American content creators include Angelica Ramirez. Now, she's the Discover Potters community creator. We're going to talk about pots. We'll also talk to Ben of Ben B Seattle, James there from Bonsai by the Sea, and of course, we're going to visit in Steve's backyard. Billy the Bald Yeti, Rack Cross from Budget Bonsai with the Tripot challenge going on right now. Dave Harding, dreaming of bonsai, his challenge has been all of the trees, the ginkgo bilobas he sent out to people. We're going to keep track of that over the next couple of years. And a special appearance somehow, some way, some shape, some form. We're going to have Candace from Bonsai Science. And then as of right now, we've got Yella from Growing Bonsai going to join me. Xavier from Xavier's Bonsai Retreat. Attila, Fonghorn Bonsai. Jason Hanrahan, Fotis, and Darren. I can't wait to talk and see the beautiful scenery there of Archithos Bonsai. And possibly you yet. If you want to be part of the expo and showcase something from your channel, get in touch with me at bonsaiacres@gmail.com. This is going to be fun. Plus, we're going to have photos sent to us. Send us your trees. Tell me a little bit about you and the trees, and we'll showcase with some viewer picks. It's the live stream Bonsai Expo 2025, approximately from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in America. I can't wait to see you all there. We're going to talk bonsai and have a little fun. Back live in the studio. Hey, take care of you. Take care of your bonsai, whether it's this size or big ones. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Welcome to Bonsai Acres.